Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. Today I want to talk to you about a video I saw called Soylent Green. I'm sorry the dog's barking in the background. He's becoming a bad woofer today. All because he wants
because the kid next door is screaming.
The kid next door is a little crybaby that wants everything.
And we're a two-player video game today. I'm controller one. You're second person.
I'm the first one, actually, because I'm on the left. Anyways, today we want to talk about being content. We saw a movie called Soylent Green, and it was really good.
And if you aren't familiar with the movie, which a lot of people are, but if you aren't, essentially there's an overpopulation problem, and there's not enough food to go around, and the world's essentially dying. The oceans are dying, and everything's dying, so... There's a scene that really kind of strikes a chord when he's eating an apple and he eats every bit of the apple. And then you look at us today and it's like, well, who would eat the core and seeds? But you know, if you never had an apple or if something like that was such a rarity, you would. You wouldn't waste one little bite of it.
Or the beef, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You'd eat the fat, everything. Why? Because you had nothing. So it's just... What we're doing this video on mostly is that we should be happy with what we got. Be happy with the things that we can find in our life. What if we didn't have those things? What if tomorrow was 90 degrees and the heat never went below that again? What if we never found flour again and there was no more bread? What if all the apples wilted or all the oranges died? And nobody could get one of those again. But then somehow, somewhere, there's one single apple tree or two or three, and so there might be a dozen apples out in the world, and you happen to get one. And, you know, we should always be thankful for what we have. It could be gone tomorrow.
Yes, for example, it took me and Aaron 3 months, God bless Aaron's soul, 3 months to replace our TV. He had the TV with me for 8 years. TV dies. I had it for an additional 10 years, 18 years. Finally gave up the ghost. What did we do? We had to go and pull ourselves together to get a bigger TV.
And pardon me, I'm also cooking dinner, so.
So I wanted to say, just, be grateful for what you have. Some people say, oh, well, I want this, and I want that, and I want this. But they're not grateful. I mean, for example, someone was asking me the other day something about this topic. The topic is simple. It goes like this. For example, people say, oh, well, I want this hardback version of this book, for example. Yeah, that's great. But you have the paperback version? Oh, yeah. Well, read the paperback version while you collect the other one. The paperback version's just as good. It's just in paperback. Oh, well. Right. Be grateful for what you have,
Well... There's another thing to keep in mind, too. We all want to live rich, it seems. Everybody seems to. But do we even think about the fact that what we have today, even for a poor person, is far more than a rich person had back 100 years ago? Yeah, I'm not talking the uber elite kings and queens and so-called emperors and, all those people. I'm talking about your standard, normal, everyday people. We are all wealthy today compared to what they were.
Hold on, I have to do this.
Even I don't really want to say our homeless, but even our homeless in some ways are better off than they were 100 years ago. But in many ways they aren't. And so sometimes we should think about them, particularly this holiday season, as in every holiday season. Even in the winter months, if you have it to give something if you can.
I donated the Salvation Army, and let's just say I got ripped a new one, but that was just...
I didn't rip you a new one. It's just I found it ironic.
I do gotta say
because the Salvation Army is openly against anybody of any so-called queer, gay, GLBT
I got a joke I gotta say.
And here's somebody who's gave them money anyway.
Talking about wealthiness, I'm gonna do a quick quote from the movie Aladdin. Look at this, Apu. Just a handful of this would make me richer than the Sultan. The little monkey, when he goes into the cave of wonder and sees all the money, and he just says, a handful of this would make me richer than the Sultan. Yeah, that's about right. But truthfully,
I mean, only in our community, in our society, could we as relatively poor people have things like this, a coffee mug, which I bought Rita
4
quite
years
a long
ago.
time ago, and if you notice, it's a beautiful mug. She won't use it. It sits in the box. I know she appreciates it, but she never even looks at it. And only us can we do that. And I got her the shot glasses to go with it. Never used.
It's because
It's been
I
over
don't
4
want.
years.
I don't want to stain these, because
But it kind of makes me feel bad. I bought you something that you never used. And
I look at it once in a while. I mean, I pull this out periodically.
And I know how much you like coffee and you like your shots now and then too.
Yes, I'm buying a
That's why I
bottle
got
of
it for
whiskey.
you.
I mean, it's like that guy in the movie Soylent Green with Charleston Heston when he pops a cork and goes, bourbon. Yes, the thing is, you got to be grateful for what you have. A lot of people just sit there and look back then.
The
Remember
jar of
what
strawberries,
he said?
$150.
Remember the old man said? Back in the old day, you could just take away your leftovers, scrape in the trash, and you're good. But nowadays, in that time frame, they ate everything.
Yeah. I mean, we back then, 100 years ago, people would gnaw at the bones, not give them to the dog. They'd eat the marrow out of it. They'd cook it and whatever. Soups were oftentimes made of the bone. There is a soup called bone soup. I think it's mostly Chinese, but the pioneers out here made it too, because sometimes that's all you had was the bones. So, always be grateful for what you have, and don't worry about getting things that you don't have yet. I mean, a natural disaster can take everything you own tomorrow.
Look at Job. Satan challenged God. God said, do everything but don't kill him. Job lost everything, his family, his fortune, everything. But God gave it back twofold, I think it was.
Yeah, there could be an electrical fire, you could lose everything. There could be a flood, you could lose everything. A tornado, you lose everything.
In the
end,
a
robber, you lose everything.
In the end, here's the bottom line to the end. And Aaron will agree with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't take it with you when you're dead, so enjoy what you have now.
Yeah,
so if you don't have everything, oh well.
I hear some argument you could take your tattoos, but even those will dissolve and break down over time.
Your body, you can't
The only way that those could be done is if somebody was to skin you and make some type of, like, leather out of it. But that's disgusting, and I don't want that done if I had tattoos. You can't take them with you. Yeah, in a way you can, but not the same.
Well, I heard a rumor, for example, someone was telling me the other day, and this is just a rumor, can't take breast implants with. They have to take out implants, they have to take out pacemakers, everything to incinerate, or burial's different, I think.
Burial's different. I believe they can leave them in, but breast implants they might not, because there is technically semi-toxic material inside.
Yeah,
somewhere.
but if you're in a box...
They don't know if it's semi-toxic or not, and they don't want that in the groundwater, so they might remove them anyways. I don't know. I'm not a mortician.
All I know is when it comes to cremation, they remove all implants and everything else.
Yes.
So, anyways, you just can't take it with, so don't worry about what you can.
It makes me think of a joke that made me laugh a long time ago, though, about taking things with you. Apparently, a husband died, and he had it in his will that he wanted his wife to take all of his life savings and put it in the coffin with him. When he was dead, they were at the funeral, and people, the lawyer and others reminded her of this. So she takes out her checkbook and writes a check and sticks it in the coffin. And she says, there, he's got every dime to the penny. He's just never going to be able to cash it. It's kind of humorous, but, what good would it do to send it with him?
Exactly.
As far as we know, whatever you're with, you're not going to get that on.
Nope, when you people, we don't even know what happened, so I wouldn't even worry about it. So
that's where faith comes in. When you don't know
yes,
something
and we'll
and you want to believe
talk about that later. But anyways, the point is, be grateful for what you have.
Exactly.
And if this holiday season you see someone and they're cold or they're hungry and you get help, try to help them, because maybe in the future you'll need help.
I can tell you how cold it is out there right now. I don't have gloves, and walking around, my fingers are frozen after like a half a block. And some of these homeless people, they have gloves with the fingers cut off or no gloves at all, and they're sitting there and just anything to keep warm. That's why they drink coffee. It's not because it wakes them up or anything like that. It's because it's warm and they can hold it. And I mean, it still feels good going down, but
anyways, that's all we wanted to say, right?
exactly.
So please add and subscribe. Please post comments in the box if you like, and please add us as a friend if you like. Thank you and have a nice day.